Hello, hello, hello. We are back with another episode of the Jane Warren podcast. And I have an incredible guest today. Y'all know I love a guest. We have Jeanne Omlor, and she is a business strategist, a seven-figure online business coach, a certified servant leadership and executive coach. She is a complete boss. Today, we are going to be talking all about how to leverage what you already know to help others. Jeanne, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. And you've already had an exciting day. And
Yes.
I am so thrilled to have you here. So let me tell you all a little bit about Jeanne. She's based out of Florida, which is really exciting about this podcast because we connect people from all over. And I just love that. So let me tell you a little bit about her background because this is really inspiring. So at 54 years old, she was a solo parent in deep debt and got herself online into $1 million in 17 months without ads and has since scaled to multi-millions in 5 years. This is so inspiring, Jeanne. Her company has helped over 400 businesses thrive online. She is emotionally connected to helping others make money, as well as she has lived in lack for so many years and overcame that mindset. So, this is what she's helping other people do too. She is now helping as many people as she can maximize profits and reach their full potential while being the visionaries they're destined to be. I love this because I am a multi-visionary. I'm a visionary myself. So I'm going to learn so much from you today. Thank you again for being here.
I'm excited. Excited.
All right, let's dive into this. So, thank you everyone for listening. If this is your first time, we're so excited that you're here. If you're coming back, then, I just love you. Let's dive into this, John. I'd love for you to share about your journey. How did you start to go down this path? I mean, a
Mm.
solo mom at 54, going into deep debt. I know a lot of listeners right now might be feeling that, might be in that debt feeling. And how did you start to turn your life and shift your life into creating what it is today?
Well, I just decided I that's it. I just decided. I thought this is for the birds. I had been a coach offline for 8 years, and then I moved to a different area and I wasn't getting those offline clients anymore. And I was out there madly networking. It wasn't like I was sitting around doing nothing. I was madly doing what I always did was network madly. And it wasn't working. And I thought, I need to, when something's not working, you have to fix it. So I thought, what am I going to do? And I was sort of shy about going online. I didn't love social media. Okay. I didn't. I thought, you know what? So what? Everybody says, oh, I don't like social media, but you have to do what you have to do. So I bit the bullet and I said, okay, I'm going to get online and I'm going to figure out how to get clients online. And I plunked down 10 more K on three different credit cards for this not great program. And they were supposed to teach me Facebook ads. And this is 5 years ago. Ads were kind of sort of working, but not as well. Now they don't work at all. And then I went into the program and they said, oh, no, you can't do ads. You need to do what's called organic marketing. And I said, what is that? Like carrots? I didn't know what that was. And they said, no, you can get clients without ads. I said, I'm in. I can get clients with no ads and all of that funnels and tech. So I said to myself, I'm going to be the best at this. And I thought that's my mission to be the best, learn how to do this, and then I can help myself and I'll be able to help other people. So I did that quite quickly. And I figured out how to be authentic. I hate the word authentic, but just not fake. It's a hashtag unfake. How to be a hashtag
Right.
unfake on social media because I hate that. And nobody likes that. And I thought there's all these fake people and fake marketing and fake and all of this. And I thought this is not what I want. Most people won't really want to work with a coach like that. There's a lot of them out there. No offense to all the other coaches that are fake, but um,
They won't care. Don't worry.
no one care. But the point is this: I figured out something very simple. And I started to grow it and scale it. And people were like, how did you do that? And it was great because I was helping, and I still am helping a lot of coaches and consultants to live what they want as their life. They want to be successful coaches, making money and helping people. And that's what we do. We work with visionary coaches and consultants who care, but also help them make money. Two things, because that's really all they want. It makes them happy. It makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know when I started out as that coach, wanting to continue to do what I love to do, and make money. And I think some of the hardest part when you're starting out in a business or pivoting, even becoming a different type of coach, is you may not see that money right away. And then you start to question whether
Mhm.
you should be doing it or not. And that's where a lot of people give up.
Right. Well, the problem is that if something isn't working, you have to fix it. I said that at the beginning. And there's like wanting everything to happen all at once and, have magic fairy dust sprinkle on your head. That's not going to happen. However, once I got online, I was successful fairly soon because I did the work and I figured something out till it worked. I was like, this has to work and I will make this work. And it didn't look great at first. It wasn't looking that great, but like 8 weeks of nothingness. And that seems like nothing to people, 8 weeks. But for me, it was an eternity of just nonstop. And like, this is not working. Why? And I just thought, just keep going, keep going. On the 8th week, I'd cracked the code just with so much work. 8 solid weeks of just testing. And I think that's what people don't want to do. They don't want to put their all into it. They don't want to go all in sometimes. They want it to just work right away. And then you have the other people that are more patient, but they're too patient. They're just like
Mhm.
going along and, well, it could take a while. And it's like, well, how long does it need to take? It shouldn't take years to get your first client. No, that's miserable. So
Mhm.
there's this balance where you want to be impatient for your success, but you want to be realistic that you have to do the work. That's where I stand.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not willing to put in the work, you might as well stop now. I mean,
Yeah.
where are you gonna get? And also too, the more you put off, and you're right, sometimes people are too patient, sit back a little too much.
Mm.
The more you put off doing the things that you're possibly afraid to do, the more fearful you're gonna become. And the only way we start building that confidence is through taking small actions.
Well, not small actions, actually. No, that's where I disagree with most people. Massive, messy action. That's what
I agree with
works.
that. Hmm.
Small actions will get you small results. So a
Hmm.
tweak here, a tweak here. What are you looking for? A tweak in your life, or you want to completely transform your business in your life? Because if you want a complete transformation of your business in your life, you have to make massive, messy action. Massive. It has to be like mud wrestling at first, like scrappy. And I think another thing is people want to be all neat and just do a little bit of work. And I'm going to do
Hmm.
a tiny bit of work and I'll do 1 hour here and I'll do this. And when you do measured work, what do you get? You get measured results. You do massive amount of work. Well, eventually, if now that's the other thing. A lot of people do a ton of work. They're doing the wrong things. They're doing a bunch of work. It's like, oh my gosh, you don't need to do all of that all at the same time. And they're spreading themselves like because of the shiny object and the FOMO and all that. They're not focusing. So you've got to focus on the matter at hand and go all in and do massive messy action with one thing till it works. And you need a good coach that's been where you want to get. No,
Yeah.
that's where you, sorry, been, you know what I mean.
They're
Done
where
where you,
they're where you want to be. They've
yes,
done what you're
exactly.
doing, what you're
Yes,
trying to do.
yes.
No, for sure. And you know what? That's a really good point. I love that pointing out the messy action because far too often we want things to be perfect.
Hmm.
And I know how many times I've spoken to coaches that, want to build something out and they want to have it completely done before they
Hmm.
even launch it. Like
Yeah.
everything, all the training, everything. I'm like, but what happens when you change your mind? Like, what if you get people in and you
Yeah.
want to evolve and change it and grow? I'm
Yeah.
like, no, sell it and then create it?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have it all baked. And I know my first ever program back in 2020 that I launched, like I spent 7 months building out a program. You know what I
Oh
mean? Building
no.
it
Oh
all
no.
out. But it was
No.
okay. Like it served me for years. You know what I mean? It
Sure,
was
sure.
in the end, it
But
served
you
me for
could have
years.
but you could have been making money during that 7 months. So
Oh, and I was doing something. That wasn't just sitting
oh,
around
okay.
doing nothing. I had a virtual fitness business, but I built
Oh,
an
okay.
online program while I was running
Got it.
live
Okay.
virtual fitness classes. So fortunately, I had income, a lot of income coming in, but I didn't realize that, the ways of working now. So let's touch on how you can leverage what you already know. What does this mean? Like, what
Okay.
does this mean to you, and how do you help people do this?
I love this because people don't understand their own value. They're not understanding their own value. They're like, well, when I'm like Jeanne Omlor or or like Jane or what like XYZ, then I'm going to do something. Well, first of all, you're never going to be somebody else and you don't want to be. You want to be yourself. You want to look at the value you already, when there's those businesses that unlock profits that are already in businesses, those, you see
Hmm.
that, right? You want to unlock the profits that are within you. So Like when I'm working with somebody, I just signed up somebody a minute ago. Okay. He's a genius at what he does, but he's not a coach yet. But now he's going to be because he just signed up with me. And I said, oh my goodness, you're a genius at that. He public speaks on it. I said, don't you think you could coach on that? He goes, really? I said, yeah, because he's a genius. He's an expert at that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you could coach around this. He goes, oh, you're right. That's what I want to do. So it's really looking at now, I'm not saying you should not get certified, but I'm also not saying you have to. So there's no rule. I'm not against certification because I have some certifications myself. However, a lot of fantastic coaches have zero certification. They are just really good at
Mm-hmm.
what they do. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
really cares. I don't have a certification in organic marketing. There's no such thing. Maybe there is now. Probably there is now. But I figured that out. Nobody said, oh my gosh, are you certified in that? They don't care. They
Mm-hmm.
see it's working. They're like, oh my goodness, I want those amazing results, like all of those hundreds of people on your reviews page. Okay. So they're not asking me, are you certified in this? They're saying, oh my goodness, look at all the success. I want some of that. And I want to know what the secret is. If there's a secret, there is really no secret to what I do. We just coach really well and we have a really good system in place. And a lot of it is the coaching. It's not just the materials. But it's getting back to what you said, it's what am I good at? So, for instance, there are some people that are naturally good at helping people with their relationships, and they've been doing it their whole life. They've been giving out information, and they're like, you know what? I've been doing this all my life, and people love my advice. And I'm like, well, maybe you should charge for that now. Right. So that's an
Mm-hmm.
example. Or maybe, maybe they want to be a life coach. Sure, go get a life coach certification. That's not $22,000, if you know what I mean. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a very famous school that charges 22,000. You should never pay that much for certification. No, if you're going to pay that much, hire me and actually get clients. So I'm kind of joking, but not. Okay. So the point is that what are you good at? So if you're not good at something, don't be a coach on that. Figure out what you're good at, what you really like doing, what you like helping people with. Now, I love helping people make money. It is my mission in life because I've been through a lot of poverty over several different eras in my life. And really, I'm emotionally connected to it because I've been through that. So it's not like fake, it's real. Like I really love helping people make money and thriving because I just got goosebumps. It makes me feel like I have a real purpose because making money and thriving so important. Food,
Mm-hmm.
rent, clothes, taking care of kids, buying, gas, vacations, fun, you really need money to have a good life. That's undeniable. So if I can help people to thrive, what better thing could I be doing with my life? I ask you, if apart from being a doctor, and I'm not a doctor type. So, and saving lives. I am saving lives in a way because
Mm-hmm.
people who are in broke, in debt, and in worried about money every single day, that is not a life. So that's how I got my mission. What am I really good at that? That's what I'm going to go for. And I went for it and I've stuck with it and I've developed that. I started off as a life coach, by the way, but I immediately was helping people make money. I thought, well, there you have it. So it's you leverage what you already know. So if you're really good at relationships, or if you're a business, like I had a client who was a photographer and she was really good at getting clients. So she didn't go get certified. We helped her create a coaching business to coach other photographers on how to get business the way she knew how to. And also she showed them different lighting sequences that helped her get a better portfolio, blah, blah, blah. So that's what she was really good at. And she created a very high ticket coaching program alongside her photography business. So it's really about and it could be anything. I know of this guy that teaches handstands, made millions of dollars teaching handstands. Go figure. Handstand videos and coaching people on how to do handstands. And people wanted to do handstands apparently. So there you have it. You can coach on anything, but it's really about what's your mission? What are you going to help people with? What are you good at? And what's going to kind of come naturally?
Yeah, for sure. No, I love those examples too, because I think that's really going to help people to drive that home. I think I know being someone that's, transitioned out of corporate, doing project management for 17 years, and then starting to pursue what I was good at, starting to pursue what I was passionate about, which was initially helping people move and helping people actually create a healthy lifestyle that was easy and
Mm,
fun. because I
Mhm.
had mastered a lifestyle that was healthy, easy, fun. People saw
Mhm.
me eating and enjoying my life and having drinks and doing all the things. And I'm like, yeah, I still feel amazing.
Mm.
Um, why do you think people don't choose this? Like, why do you think people stay doing, in their zone of excellence, or just stay stuck doing things that make them feel mediocre, that they're not super passionate about, and don't actually go for, leveraging what they already know and chasing something, not chasing, creating a life that really is going to light them up?
Well, first of all, a lot of people have families and they can't just say, hey, hey, honey, I'm just going to, stop my job where we have all the benefits and all of that. And I'm going to go chase my dream of being a coach. However, we have a lot of clients that have day jobs, very high powered ones sometimes, and they're doing it alongside. So I think it's the belief that they can't do both. Okay. There's that
Mhm.
first one that I have to give up my job and start that. That's, you don't have to. So that's the first thing. The second thing is just fear, just everyday garden variety fear. Fear of, well, what if I don't become a success like Jeanne Omlor? Or what if I don't, what if nobody likes my coaching or my clients hate me? Or there's so many fears that come up. And, you know, nothing we've ever done in our lives that's worthwhile is without fear. I mean, getting married and people are like, that's fearful. Like, what if it's the wrong person? I'm divorced. So, you know, definitely it didn't work. But I, going to college, there's fear around going to college, right? Or what if I'm studying the wrong thing? Or fear around taking the SAT? Or as I said, fear about getting married, or fear about any kind of relationship, or fear about having kids, or fear about moving somewhere, moving to another country. So really, I mean, if you want to do what you want in life, there will be fear and you need to get over it. You just need to get over that you're going to have fear and embrace it. Make fear your friend, that it's okay, I'm fearful, and it's not going to kill you. I think people are so afraid of fear
Mhm.
itself. I'm so afraid I'm going to be fearful. So I really think it's just no confidence. Like who am I? Who am I to think that I could be like that? Well, I mean, you're somebody. I was 54, not techie. I didn't know anything about online business at all. I knew about offline business. That's what I coached on. And I was like, I got to learn this. I just have to. And I think when you realize you are far more powerful than you could ever imagine, your life changes. When you just realize that what if, the question, what if I were far more powerful than I could possibly imagine? I'm allowing myself to believe. What if, what would happen? Those are good questions. Would I get to 2 million instead of being at the 500K I'm at? Would I start coaching or starting a business at all? Would I say, I'm going to do this anyway? I'm going to keep my day job because, that's, you got to, but I'm going to build this on the side. And eventually, when it goes better, I can then drop my day job because I'm making so much money and I have my dream now. So, and it might not be coaching, it might be anything, but I have to say, coaching is like the best job ever. The fact that I can sit behind my computer and make money getting clients all around the world. I just got one from Thailand this morning. I got two clients today, one from Thailand and one from England, from Florida. Okay. That's amazing. I
Mhm.
don't have to fly to England and go to a networking event to meet that guy. And I didn't have to fly to Phuket. I just had to get on a Zoom and tell them about what I did. And they had already seen my reviews and they're like, I'm in. So now that doesn't happen right away, by the way, but I built that up. So again, I don't want it to create some sort of like, oh, well, that's because Jeanne Omlor has reviews. When I started, I had nothing. I had no connections online. I started from scratch. So I started from scratch, not being a social media person or a guru at all. I'm not a guru, but I know about it now. And I just worked my way up to 1 million in 17 months with a phone and a computer. Anybody can do this.
That is so inspiring. And you're exactly right. Everyone has exactly what they need inside them right now, but those fears creep in. And I really like that you touched on that, even like your clients, especially working with like visionaries,
Mm.
they may hold their corporate job or they may hold their 9 to 5
Yeah.
or whatever job that is that makes them feel secure. And I've been in situations where I just released a contract recently because I needed to free some space and
Mhm.
energy to allow bigger things to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But leading up to that, I was like, you know what? This job fell into my lap. It was easy. It was in my zone of excellence. And I was like, you know what? While I'm building things for my business, while I'm investing in certain coaching, I would love
Yeah.
to be bringing this in because
Yeah.
I'm building out certain things and this is great. And it made me feel good. And I think the belief that you can't have it all, like you can't have
Mm.
both, or if you were to have both, you're going to be working like insane. Even when I
Mm.
had that contract, I took very good actions and like big actions on my business and I wasn't working like excessively. You know what I mean? Like I was working my contracted hours and then I made time for my business and I made sure the time I put into my business was on the most important things.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that my energy was split and a little divided, and you may have a little less energy. Now I have all the time to invest in my business. So I'm like hyper activated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And taking those steps. But I think it's great to remind the listener that yeah, you have responsibilities. You may want to keep that job right now, and that's completely fine. But we're trying to get you to put some more joy into your life, to
Right,
start
right.
doing the things that you love.
Sure, but it's not all things we love. Business is not all fun. Let's be real. You can't
100%.
go in saying, "Well, I just want to have a business because it." No, it's not all fun. Some of it's super fun, but managing people's not very fun. I don't find that very fun, but you have to do it unless you're going to do it all yourself, and I don't want to. So it's not. It's really about you do need to make some sacrifices, and it, okay. I'll put it this way. People used to say to me, "Oh, you work so hard." The people that were not successful, they'd always come out of the woodwork on social media. "Oh, it looks like you work so hard." I'm like, "Nope, not really. I have two kids. I don't miss a trick with them. I don't miss anything. We eat dinner together. I go to I drive them all over the place. We're good. But oh, you're working so hard." And I said to one, I said, "I would far rather work hard and have the life I have, like reaping the
Mm-hmm.
rewards, than not work hard and not be a success." I mean, what's the option? Don't work hard and don't be a success. I was always laughing when people said that to me because they don't work
Mm-hmm.
hard. They want to sit around doing a little bit of work and feeling good about the level of energy and that they did yoga every single day of their life and they've harmonized and balanced every single day, which is not possible. You harmonize over a week or 2 weeks or a month, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you're not success. I wasn't saying that. I was thinking, but these people aren't successful. They're just doing whatever, treading water and doing mindless stuff that's not moving them forward. That to me would be like hell. To to say I have a business, I'm doing just actions. It's not working, but at least I'm not overworked. No, you're better off overworking for a bit. Go all in, and just say, you know what? First, when I'm first building this business, I might be working more than I want, but you will enjoy it because it will start to work.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's working, you don't mind working. I love working. I only don't like working when I'm starting something new and it's quite not quite working yet because I try new things. But that's rubbish. Like, oh, what I don't want to work too hard. Then don't be successful because I've never met a successful person in my life that hasn't worked hard. So where did that come that now some don't work hard? I know some people that are hugely successful that don't work as hard as they used to. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They earned that right. They have money. So like, I don't want to work as hard. Great. They didn't start off that way. And there's a lot of brainwash about, easy, lucrative, fun life. By the way, I met that guy and I love it, but now he does that. But you can't tell a beginning entrepreneur have an easy, lucrative, fun life right away. You got to earn that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. I agree. Like we all have to put in work, and I think everyone's going to have their own opinion on things, and no doubt people came after you if they weren't successful and seeing what you were doing. And but it's true. It's like, yeah, I of course, if you want something to work, you have to work for it. And I think it is an important reminder, as you're starting out a business or as you're pivoting your business, like it is, of course, going to take work. And I always think in the work that I'm putting into my business and, yeah, I don't love every task I have to do. I delegate things as I can. But, I know at the end of the day, the things I do today are helping me and my future self. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I need to be doing this now. And if I don't, get the foundation in place, if I don't get certain systems in place, it's like, I'm not going to just busy myself for the sake of
Mm,
being busy. I hate
mm.
the word busy actually.
So do I.
But it's like, yeah, I do not use that word. If people call me busy, I like correct them. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, my days are eventful.
Mm.
And it's like I do not want busy work. It's like,
Neither
nope.
do I.
I hate that word. Also, for me as a mindset coach, it's like busyness to me, being busy feels chaotic and it doesn't
Right.
feel orderly. And I'm
Mhm.
always about creating order in the mind. So I'm like,
Mhm.
no, that's not how I function. But no, I think, yeah, this everything that you're saying, I just love. And it's so evident the, lives that you're changing and the things that you're doing. And I love too, like encouraging people that wouldn't even consider coaching and your
Mm.
perspectives as well on when you touched earlier on getting your certification and so forth. Like I have a certification.
Mhm.
But I do agree that oftentimes we feel like we need to know more.
Mm.
Certifications can certainly boost your confidence to a
Yes.
certain degree that you've
Mhm.
got, okay, I've got the certification. However, you still may lack a little bit of confidence if you haven't worked with the clients and, put yourself out there yet. But I do feel that it holds people back. Like people will say,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'll do that when," like you had said before, when this, when that. I need a certification, and it's like, no, you actually don't. If you want to start being a certain type of coach, start talking about it. Start presenting yourself like that person. Start doing those things and seeing what happens. If at some point the universe or whatever you decide you want to do a certification, then great. But I fully agree that that often holds people back.
It does. Actually, I'll go further. I'm going to shortcut this for everybody just to really help. Everybody needs is they need to go out and get their first client. Because when you get that first client, you don't need confidence of a certification. What gives you confidence is getting a client and making money from what you're doing. Full
Yes.
stop. And what people are doing, they're putting that off and then they're spending like so much money on the certification. Again, if you're going to invest money in a coaching business, the investment should be in getting clients. So if that's a coach that's going to help you get clients, that's way better than spending all this money to get a certification that will not get you clients. You're better off hiring a coach that's going to help you get clients. And then later on, if you want to get certification, sure. Now, I've had a lot of clients with zero certification, and they were smart enough to know what I just said. They're like, yeah, I figured that out. Wouldn't it be better to have somebody help me actually bring money in the door and get clients rather than do certification after certification? Because you're still there with some paper saying you got a certification, nowhere to go. There are no clients. And now then you have to hire a coach. You're better off just not doing it unless it is executive coaching. They really want you to be certified for certain executive coaching gigs if you're going into large companies. That is different. That is the exception. Is that
Mhm.
executive leadership coaching? They're going to go, oh, are you certified? But sometimes they won't, but generally they might.
Mhm.
So that would be
Mhm.
like the one exception. And I'm not saying certification is bad in general. Of course, if we're going to a doctor, you want that doctor to be certified.
Yes.
But people make it too hard. It really just is this simple positioning, pay for no branding, just simple personal branding. I didn't do any personal branding. I just was me taking selfies in my car because the light was good. Because I have a Tesla and the light comes in. So it's a nice diffused light. That's why I did it. Why are you in your car? I said, because the light's very flattering. That's why I'm always in my car. Oh, but I didn't get new shots till I was already at like 2.5 million or three. And, it was like, okay, I do need some professional shots for certain things, but they're doing things wrong. Just position quickly, get a good offer, figure out who you're helping, get a price, and go get your first client. I know it sounds really easy, but that's what we help people with. But literally,
Mhm.
that's the step. People generally need coaching to find out who their avatar, find out what the you know offer is. I help people craft those pricing, how to do very simple 5 minute. I call it Jeanne's 5 minute branding, positioning, message. Go get a client. That's
Mhm.
it. That's what we start people with. It's that easy. It is that easy. Of course, it's not easy if you don't know how to do it yourself, but I'm saying the steps complicated. It's simple. Simple, but maybe not so easy for people because they need help. Simple is
Yeah.
better word. Yeah.
And they don't, and what's key is reaching out and exactly knowing when to get the help. And I know that if someone's listening and this is inspiring you and you're like, wow, I would actually love to be doing something like this, but I don't know how to get started. And that's exactly
Mm.
where, coaching like yourself comes into place and becomes so helpful because, you help hold that belief with that person that they can do
Mhm.
it. You actually truly know what is possible based off the
Yes.
hundred people that you have helped that have transformed their lives because, they started this business. And it can be hard to see that when you're not in it yet, and then you get
Mhm.
overwhelmed by everything you think you need to do. But you're exactly right. It's really quite simple. And I know that when I got my first client, the health and wellness stuff, I was working side hustle in a gym. So like when I
Mm.
got my virtual fitness clients, like that just rolled in. But when I
Yeah.
got my first like coaching clients, when they enrolled in my program, oh my God, it was so exciting,
Yeah.
And then when I actually saw the program work, I was like, well, I knew the program was going to work because it worked because I was my best use case. I had
Yes.
gone through those things. But when I saw it work, it was just like that is a confidence builder. Like right away, when you see mindset transformations, when you're seeing your tools working, people using them, you're like,
Mm.
okay, I can do this. And then you're like ready to roll.
Mm. Yeah. Now you're a mindset coach, right?
Yeah.
So you understand it's not just the strategies. Like people have come in and they've said, this worked because I saw you believed in me. You spoke belief into and life into me. And that's part of it. It's not just about do this, do that. Strategy is really important. But if you don't have belief, then none of it will work. I mean, it might. Actually, I've had people kind of not believe and do my steps, and it sort of works actually, but it's going to work better. Like one of my clients came in and she was just at a very bad time. She had had 16 years of referrals just fed to her. And then they dried up all of a sudden. She was in a state of complete panic and she was a mindset coach. And I said, look, you have not changed your value because your pipeline dried up. It has no reflection on your coaching. She goes, but yet I feel like it does. I said, no, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with that. You just had a pipeline because you haven't worked to create your own marketing over 16 years. She goes, I know I should have done that. I said, it's okay. I can do that now. And
Mhm.
she signed up and she had her highest month ever in the first month working with me in 16 years of coaching in 1 month. And she said, this happened because I saw your belief in me. And she said, wait, if Jeanne can believe in me that much, then I need to believe in myself just a little bit. And that's what did it. So a lot of it is the mindset. But of course, she had the strategies.
100%. And I know that, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't apply any type of strategy or
Yeah.
continue to test out strategies and see how they work. But fully like a key piece that I play with my clients is the mindset piece, is the belief, working through the limiting beliefs, creating new truths and, supporting them through that because self-image, like you can apply every strategy. And I'm sure, like you said, some of your clients may have applied strategies, whether they lasted long term or not. If your self image and who you think, who you are and who you believe yourself to be, if it doesn't align with, the strategies that you're applying, then of course you're going to inevitably, your mind's going to start to hold you back. You might take the actions,
Mhm.
but then if you don't have that deep rooted belief in yourself, but that's exactly why, too, you've been so instrumental in your client's success by seeing and believing them. And I know my first ever coach I worked with that opened my mind on mindset, on the conscious mind, subconscious mind. I was like astonished. I'm like, she had this belief in everyone. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is great. Like this at the time, I was thinking, this is crazy. This woman, like, feels so strongly that we can do anything. And then now I'm that person, I'm like,
Mhm.
well, of course, why couldn't you? Anything's possible.
I agree.
So it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful like mindset and strategy go hand in hand. And the fact that, you're helping your clients with that and identify that is like incredible. I just love that. I love that for your clients and I love that for you. And what you've done, John, is just so inspiring, honestly, truly inspiring. I love to hear these stories. I love to hear the insights from women just like you because I definitely, aspire as I have my goals towards multi-million dollar business and I know it's there. So, if someone's listening right now and, they're like, okay, This is really connecting with me. I want to start leveraging what I already know. What would you say is one thing that they can do today to help start this journey for themselves?
Just start trying to get clear on what you can help people with. What is the result? How is that going to help them in their life? So I don't mean, like I'm going to help them with this and it's not going to really make much difference because nobody's going to pay for that. So what could I do that would actually be helpful for people? Is it helping them make money? Is it helping them not get that divorce that's, they were only going to get because they don't know how to communicate? Is it, you know, uh, mindset? Is it, I don't know, excuse me, being, excuse me, being a better mom? Is it, what is that? Is it some sort of tech solutions? Or if you know a lot about AI, is it helping people put AI in their business? Or, what is that where it would actually create a difference? Now, I know mine is help people make more money, just thrive with being coaches and consultants. So I'm clear. It's very, very clear. And people want that. Everybody wants to make more money doing what they love, like every single person. I've never met a person that said to me, no, I don't want to make more money doing what I love.
Yeah.
Or if they, and not everybody wants to be a coach, but I mean coaches or
Mm-hmm.
consultants. And not
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to do that. Clearly, I'm not saying everybody has to be a coach, but a lot of people do want to do that. Um, just get clear on that first. What is that? Now, a lot of coaches will help you get clear on that. Like, for instance, we help people get clear on that. Like in the first call, before we sign people up, I first have to make sure that somebody has a good offer in them, or we don't take them as a client because it just won't work. So that we do that. I do that for free, like on the sales call. I'm like, okay, well, what are we working with here? And by the end, I'm like, okay, this offer has legs. We'll create more. We'll make it better. But I need to know that they have something because sometimes people come to me and they can't be coaches. They don't have the personality. They don't want to talk to people. They don't want to sell, and they have nothing that they're really good at that people need. You know, like if somebody knits, well, nobody's going to pay you high ticket to teach them how to knit. They could go to some cheaper online course. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that somebody came to me and they were making like hats, and I said, well, I can't create a high ticket coaching program out of how to make crocheted hats. So that wasn't going to work. So no, that's an extreme, but you get the drift. Not everybody can be a
Yeah.
coach. And
Yeah.
there was nothing that this person knew. She was great at that could be leveraged into coaching. So it's not always possible.
No, and that's a good point. And I think really getting clear on how you can help someone and how that feels to you, make sure it's truly deeply something that you want, and that clarity is key. And that's something one of the first things I work on as well with my clients is like, okay, let's get clear on what you really want. If there's no
Yeah.
clarity, then what are we going for? You're like shooting in the dark, we need to
Yeah.
know which direction we might want to start heading so that we can refine. And no, I think that's incredible advice. I think that's so great. And this whole chat, oh my gosh, people are gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back and get your pen and paper out and listen to this again because you said so many incredible things, John. I'm so grateful that you were here today. Thank you for your time and for all of this incredible insight.
You're so welcome. This was so fun.
Thank you again.